before I even deliver this message, I want everybody to be safe, whether you're a majority or a minority. I want everybody to protect themselves. But unfortunately, as a minority, we all know how this goes. We need to be extra careful and extra cautious. And the reason that I say that is because the last thing we need is for this to become a minority issue. That's the last thing we need. You know as well as I do, if that's what it becomes, they'll turn the page on this shit so fast it'll make your head spin, and they'll be on to the next. It'll become justifiable. Trust me. So again, I want everybody to protect themselves, whether you're the majority or the minority. But as a minority, we got to be extra careful. You see what's happening in Louisiana and Chicago and Detroit. We got to protect ourselves and be extra careful, because if it becomes that, that's when the problem's going to kick in.
Wow.
Yeah. Can you believe that was from Plies?
That's past the Plies right there. Yo, you know what's crazy? Is as crazy as Plies is, though, even you watch those videos, Plies does speak a lot of facts.
He does.
Like, he does speak a lot of facts. And I don't know if you have in your time at radio and stuff, but I've had a chance to speak to Plies, and he's actually like he's a pretty intelligent dude. Like when he sits down and talks to you, he's a pretty intelligent dude, man. So I give him props for that.
Yes, and for him using his platform to say what he just said, because it's really a message I think the urban community needs to hear.
Right.
Especially coming from him, because he's always joking and talking, saying crazy things. And so when he gets serious, it's like, hold up, Plies is serious. We might need to be serious here, But he's right.
I wanted to start the show off with that today. Welcome everybody, first of all, to Southern Hospitality. I am DJ Ekin, aka Tampa's most connected DJ, and of course, the lovely Brittany Gonzalez. How are you?
Hey,
Brittany. You know what I want to do too? Before we get started, I want to thank everybody that keeps rocking with us for hanging with us, and we're like reaching certain plateaus, and I just wanted to keep going up. So I just want to say thank you to everybody that's been rocking with us, and don't forget, like, they can find us wherever they get their podcast fix, because I don't know what phone everybody's carrying, whether it's an Android or an iPhone or wherever they get their podcast at, they can catch us there. And also too, we have the video clips up on DJ Ekin TV on YouTube, so they can catch those. But back to the Plies thing. I wanted to start with that because, first of all, kudos to you. Let's start with that first, and then I want to get into the whole minority thing and this coronavirus thing. But we joke a lot, Brittany, seriously, and you actually get on my nerves a lot, like a lot.
I know I do.
Like,
I always hate it when I do, because I feel so bad. I'm like,
No.
I hate when Ekin's,
no,
but go on.
kidding. No, it's you're like that work wife. You get on my nerves like that. But no, down in Fort Myers, there was a situation, and I want you to tell the story because it meant like a lot to you when you did it. There was a situation, and you jumped right in and took care of that. And I want to make sure that first of all, I want to say I'm happy for you again, and I want to give you a round of applause because I thought, like I said, we play a lot, but I thought it was a really good thing. So if you can give, like, the crowd, light on what was going on in Fort Myers.
For sure. Okay, so I'm from Immokalee, right? And it's a small town, mostly Mexicans, Haitians, Blacks. There's a very little white population, and this matters, is why I'm saying this. So growing up with migrant farm workers, my family grew up in the fields. My mom, worked in the fields even after doing real estate. When the market fell apart, she had to go back to the fields. I saw how it really is to first of all be in a migrant household, but also what they do, right? So these are migrant farm workers who are, little not paid very well. They do the hardest work as far as like physical labor. It's a lot, and they work from 5:30 in the morning. From 5 in the morning, some 4:30 in the morning, to about 5. Or actually, to whenever the demands of the local community is met for produce, right? So what was happening was that they weren't getting the supplies that they needed. And it turns out that they didn't even have hand soap, Ekin. Like, these are people who are working with our produce, who it gets mass distributed. The coronavirus is real, and we know that it stays on surfaces. We know that we need to be washing our hands. So to know that a small community, a big community like that, a small community, but it affects a lot of communities around us,
right,
that they weren't getting the minimal basic supplies needed, one, to take care of themselves because they're still working through these conditions. You know, they weren't educated on how serious the virus is. They were packed together. They weren't like this is a real health concern. So it was so much bigger than obviously my heart for them, because it's like I'm so close to it. I know the the struggles that they go through, and I know that they don't have a voice, they don't get heard, you know, they get forgotten about, and people think, oh, they're undocumented, so who cares? And I'm like, no, we're humans, and especially because what they do for us, for everyone. So when I found that, when I had a journalist who went and did the story on them, and I found out, oh my goodness, like they don't have the supplies, they don't have anything. I'm like, no, we got to do something. So we banded together. A state representative, Heather Fitzenhagen, caught hold of the story. She wanted to help too, and we all jumped in together, and we were just like, we need to get supplies to these people ASAP. So we raised $2,000, and we all went towards supplies for the migrant farm workers, and we sent one load of supplies to them so far. There's supposed to be two, but just one has gone. And yeah, and paper towels, hand wash, baby formula, diapers, you know, stuff that is already hard to get. And now imagine them when they get off of work. They're in a small town in Immokalee. It's just it was just a lot of things wrong with it that I was like, no, we gotta help, you know. So
So you were, what kind of stuff did you deliver out? Did you guys, I saw some pictures. It was like, I know it was toilet paper, of course. It was like feminine supplies. What else did you guys take out there?
Yeah, so the biggest thing was like hand wash. It was food, canned food. It was paper towels. It was like you said, the feminine products, the baby stuff that they need, water. It was just like basic supplies like that are already hard to find. Now imagine these people who are in this small community. They only have a small Winn-Dixie for the entire town. You know what I mean? Like, we have the luxury of Walmarts, of Targets, of all these different food suppliers, and this small town had nothing. And so yeah, that's why we were like, no, we got to jump on this.
So I don't know if you know this part, but here's a question that I have. Like, the people, like, who they're working for, like who some of these farmers are working for, are they obligated to like have any of this stuff though, like in place? Like, are they, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you have a business, right, there are certain things, I guess, that you're supposed to have, and you may or may not know this answer. Are they obligated to have, you know, like I said, are they, because, you know, these people are handling food, and
Yeah,
that's the first thing right there. Are they being held accountable for having any of this stuff that the workers needed?
I think so now, especially there's an eye on it now that there's awareness about it. Yes, I think that maybe they weren't taking it as serious before. And so they were like, whatever, if it's there, if there is not thinking. I just don't think that there's also this miseducation. We think that everybody knows how serious it is. There are a lot of communities that are very unaware still right now that don't know how serious it is. And Immokalee, honestly, with the farm workers is one of them. They were just not, and the Haitian community too. We had to put together a video for the Haitian community in Creole to let them know this is how you wash your hands. This is serious, you know, like take the precautions, and you think it's common knowledge to us, right? Because we're, you know, we're blessed, but man, you'd be surprised at how many people don't know still.
Is there a hospital over there?
No hospital. There's only a Winn-Dixie. There's a few fast food places, the restaurants, mom and pop restaurants. There's maybe a tire shop, you know, like, so supplies that everyone needs. I imagine a Winn-Dixie. What does a Winn-Dixie have? For like, if you need to fix something, they just have these small little supply stores that aren't enough for a whole community, you know?
So the things that we take for granted, like Walmart and Target and that type of thing, they're Immokalee, because I've never been to Immokalee, but it sounds like it reminds me a lot of the small area that my mom's originally from in Virginia called the Eastern Shore, where it's like my cell phone be having crazy trouble there. It's like I go there and I'll be like, whoa, man, like I'm like
there's nothing, because there's nothing.
Right. Yeah. I'm like in this place. And you know what I'm saying? Like, my family's originally from there on my mom's side. So I appreciate it and I respect it. But it's like an hour away from like Norfolk, Virginia Beach, which everybody knows about because Pharrell and Teddy Riley and Missy Elliott, all that type of stuff, right? But in this area, it's kind of like you said, it's missing things that we kind of just be like, I'm going to go to Target. Yeah, we got 3 or 4 different grocery stores we'll go to. You know what I'm saying? And there's a McDonald's for the whole city.
Yeah.
You know, like
on every corner. Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah. So, and I guess that brings us to the other thing that we were kind of discussing. So, do you think now that you guys have put a light on it, and that like the lady that was helping, she's in the government, right? What is she?
Yeah, she's a state representative.
Right.
For us, for Florida.
Right now, and you and I have been talking about this, and I definitely wanted to talk about this, and that's why I wanted to open up with the plies thing that he talked about is there's kind of a, what is the word I'm looking for? There's an imbalance or something when it comes to the different nationalities in this coronavirus thing, the treatment or how it's being looked at. You know, there's something going on here, and like all of a sudden now a lot of the reports are coming out that it's a big problem for African Americans. Like it's a different kind of problem for African Americans. And so I also too, I feel it's my responsibility as a person who is a journalist in some way. I feel like I do a lot of barbershop talk, like I said, but I really like, you know, I try not to just like jump on bandwagons and be like, yo, they're really treating my people bad. I try to do like some reading, some research, and I, you know, I did some reading, and the first thing I want to get across is I think that one of the things that is causing this to be a big problem for African Americans is that we have a lot of underlying conditions that other nationalities may not have because of the way that food is prepared, seasonings, you know, the you know what I'm saying? It does have to do with the way that the word is that we kind of take care of ourselves as a collective. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying like that because I know like myself, I think I'm pretty fucking lucky, you know what I'm saying, with how I live, you know what I'm saying? But as a collective, you know, we're known to have stuff like diabetes, high blood pressure, hypertension, asthma.
Yeah.
From what I'm understanding is, along with the fact that some of the medical attention has become a problem, and that's a deeper conversation, that when this coronavirus thing jumps on us or we get it, these other things do not help the issue. So that's why,
Yes.
like I always want to think of Griffin the most positive way, but if I'm not mistaken, he had asthma, right?
He had asthma.
That kind of made things be escalated when he got this, you know what I'm saying? And so I think when we look at it, that is a factor in some of this. But
absolutely,
some of the stats like that Plies mentioned, it was kind of crazy. Like he mentioned Milwaukee, right? In Milwaukee, African Americans or Black people are just a third of the population, but they account for 70% of the people that have died.
Wow.
In Chicago, they're only 30% of the population, but they have accounted for 69% of the coronavirus deaths. In Louisiana, which it seems like every time something like this happens, whether it's a flood, a hurricane or something, Louisiana be catching hell, right?
The worst.
In Louisiana, the African Americans are only 32% of the population, 70% of the coronavirus deaths in Louisiana. And so I looked up Florida. Hold on, because I looked up Florida, which is here, right? And we've had, and this was this Wednesday morning, this report came out, 15,003 cases of the coronavirus. 47% white, 12% Black, 2% Hispanic, and 41% didn't put an ethnicity there, which I'm guessing that means the data is not all the way right. Like somebody didn't check a box or something like that.
Yeah.
Florida, so far, the deaths have been 18% Black. That, when I think about that Louisiana thing and that Chicago thing, and I've been to Milwaukee, does that make you feel? I mean, I'm not sure how to feel about it. Like honestly,
it's a reflection of the truth of the ugly truth about the minority system and about for the Black community alone. Like in every, because I watch documentaries on like the inequalities over the years, the history of it, and the Black community has always been at the bottom, the worst affected, and always at the bottom, right? And for so many, like there's sub reasons or whatever, but no, absolutely. Here's the thing: if those major deaths and cases were not happening in New York the way that they are, I honestly think that the attention on it would not be. They wouldn't be talking about New Orleans. They wouldn't be talking about Detroit. Like they're not talking about. Nobody's talking about. But but I also read that New Orleans was the one that got hit the hardest, and I had not heard that on the media at all. And I'm not watching it every day, but No, I didn't know about it. And I'm reading it like, well, why aren't we talking about that? If I thought New York was the worst hit, and they're saying that all these other cities, like you said, with Detroit, they're the worst hit. They're the most impacted. So, but we're not talking about it. Why? Who lives in those communities?
Right.
Black people. Let's not, we cannot deny that fact. Like, I'm not even, yes, absolutely. It is because you're Black, unfortunately, that this is the way that it's played out. And it's not fair. It's unjust. It's ridiculous. But that's the thing about what we're trying to do is break that. And it's gonna take some freaking time. But yeah, so you should feel away because it's true.
But doesn't it seem like we're having this conversation every year when something happens? Like, let me do this, because I watch like all kinds of craziness, and I love Dave Chappelle. And Dave Chappelle seems to put his comedy in a way that you have to think, you know what I'm saying, as well as you're laughing at the same time. And I had family that was involved very on all different sides of when crack was going crazy. Family and friends that were, it was all different sides. Lost people in, just I just know about it, being the New Yorker in me and that type of thing. When crack was going crazy and it was tearing up the urban community, causing all kinds of problems, it was called an epidemic, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just solely losing my train of thought on this word that I want to use, right? Right.
Okay.
But now that opioids have become the problem, and it's more in the suburbs, and it's not so much a urban problem with the pills and that type of thing. It's not considered an epidemic. It's a crisis now. Like, we've got to find a way to fix this crisis. It's a fucking drug, man. These fucking people are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and how many more years? And again, I know it ain't everybody.
Yeah.
We all bleed the same thing. And at what point are we going to get to that everybody just realize that, look, all these places make up what we call the United States. And this is supposed to be, per se, the greatest country in the world. How are we still having this problem?
Man, I think it's because there's a lot of reasons that I think, but I just think that there's still a lot of people with that older mentality still running things. And because of that those people who sit in those chairs, those people, think about, okay, look at our government system, what it's made up of. Mostly, and let's just speak fast, it's mostly Caucasian Americans, right, in office. A lot of them, not all of them, a lot of them have, they've grown up in politics, they've been around it, they make money, they profit from it. They don't know what it's like to suffer, to struggle. They think that the people who are on welfare, they're like that because they're lazy, or they're, they have all these misconceptions about why people can't get their own selves up. You know what I mean? And so and I think that me personally, I think that that's a big problem with the disconnect. Why we can't move past it is because they're not willing to accept that it even is real, that it exists, that there is that inequality, that there is a lot of obstacles that the Black community has to jump through to get, as far. You have to jump through a lot more hoops, and you have a lot more to prove. You have a lot more to I just think there's a lot more things that you have to prove. You have so much more against you to prove against, versus like a Caucasian American would naturally be more trusted, more. I mean, there's studies that have shown this. Like, I'm not just saying this, and I love everybody. I don't, believe that, one race is all one thing, like, that's stupid. But we have to be real when we talk about these things, man. Like, I forgot where I was going with that too, but yeah. So
do you and this is going to shift it a little bit, because I think this is kind of a broad conversation, and again, I try to keep it, we try to keep it very much, we know what we're talking about, but also too, I don't want to get like, it's not a political show, you know what I'm saying? So
real quick, I do want to say, my last point is I do think that the problem is that how can you fix something that you don't understand or you've never been through yourself? I think it's harder for people to do that. And I think that's why it's easier that things have stayed this way, is because that disconnect. But anyway, that's what I was trying to end my point on. But go on. Sorry.
But I'm honestly glad that you went to that point, because it brings up where I wanted to go. Do you think that we're to blame, though? Like, at all? Like, and by when I say we, I mean you and I, like our our communities, the Black, the what's called the ethnic, the urban community, as far as like, I take that And again, follow me as I shift here a little bit.
Mhm.
Something as simple as when it's working for us, I feel like when it's working for that one person, the African American person, like I look at the club scene, right? When it's working for that one person, right? They fine. They overcharging the sisters, they overcharging you. Everything is crazy. Prices
Mhm.
are raised up for the same drinks that on a normal night they wouldn't be, right? And the minute that they lose that gig or they lose that spot, they're not the promoter or whoever, the DJ, whatever, then it's kumbaya. We should all come together. But when they in that position, it's like we're not doing that, you know. And a whole nother thing, right? I looked at, you know, everybody's been going live, and again, follow me, follow me. I know sometimes we jump around here, but follow me. Um, you know, everybody's been going all live on IG Live and Facebook Live and all this other stuff, right? So Tory Lanez goes live, and 350,000 people are there with him. He's got pretty much a B rated strip club going on, quarantine,
Yeah.
calling it, right? But it's pretty much a B rated strip club because there's all kinds of stuff going on, from twerking to, you know, I didn't watch. I think I might have clicked there once. I might have been there like maybe 2 minutes because I can't do lives that long, but people were twerking, and from what I understand, there's been some nudity there. There's been all kinds of stuff going on there, right? And then he got put in IG Live jail, like Instagram Live jail. Boom, you can't go live. And it's like I'm watching him post stuff like Instagram don't want me to win this, that, and the other. Why don't we ever understand that these things don't belong to us? Like, that's not our platform. But if we got together with all the money that we have around us from the athlete money, and we got millionaires here and this, that, and the other, and actually created our own platform and supported it, then we could probably do what we say that we want to do.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't think that way though. We weren't I remember you mentioned this to me a while back, and it like always stuck with me, where you were like, we weren't given the tools, we weren't given the knowledge, we weren't taught to own, to you know, to build wealth, to acquire wealth, how to, you know, we weren't, those things weren't instilled in us. There were more so conversations about, you know, I mean, for me, it was go to college, get a job, you know, work for someone. But the mentality was never, oh, I could have my own. I could have my own salon, or I could have my own whatever you know, whatever I wanted. I just don't think we were given those. We're not prone to be given that information, and because of where, look, our parents, a lot of, you know, in the minority community aren't as educated, you know what
Right.
I mean? Like,
Get a
we
job.
just don't know. So that, I think that plays a role in it too. I just think that people, we underestimate that we can even have those things. We don't even think we can have them. Why? I don't know.
Right. Well, I think we should start a push from here. Like, we should start a push that, like, we have to really get our own, you know what I'm saying? Like, really, like, work on getting our own, and also learning to do things together. Like, I think that, you know, if this thing hasn't taught me anything, it's taught me that we're kind of all, when it's all said and done, we're at the mercy of certain things. We're at the mercy of
Sure.
certain things. And if you don't want to be at the mercy of that again, you're gonna have to make some changes in what you're doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everything from the Instagram model. Look at how Instagram has changed, like, because everybody feels like, oh, now I got to go live to show everybody how great I am. These tools have been there,
Yeah.
and these rules on these tools have been there for the longest time. These rules
Yeah.
didn't just come about. Like, it didn't just come about that we don't want you being naked on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? On your live, they just didn't
Doing
start.
the most. Everybody's going crazy on their lives. Like, I have seen more vaginas on lives
Oh,
than
who's
yeah.
who are you following?
Freddie Gibbs. There's one called Quarantine Club. There's a Tory Lane's got some stuff going on. Yeah, and then I find some stuff.
Brittany, what are you doing with your free time? Now this, now,
Um,
now this again, the show has shifted. We were in a nice calm space. What do you, Brittany? What do you?
I saw a girl with the fireworks down there.
I might have sent you that. I
Did
might
you
have
see
sent
the
you that.
baby? Did you see the baby next to her
I might have
in
sent you
Auntie's arms?
in my own defense, I might have sent you that. I don't want this to come back. As a matter of fact, Ekin, you sent me that. I might have sent you that because sometimes when I get some craziness, I send you.
Yes.
Hey, hey,
So yeah.
let me ask you this. Since this quarantine has been going on, is there anything that you appreciate more since
Oh,
anything that you like, you just figure that you took for granted before the quarantine happened?
Oh man, yeah, and it's the okay. Well, what do you go first? I don't know because I don't want to get
Okay, you know what I take for granted, and who I want to, who I want to apologize to.
oh,
There's two people I want to apologize to. Two people.
who?
First off, do you see my face right now? I got a beard, Brittany.
Oh my God, you do! You do!
When I logged on, first thing Jason said to me is, oh. Like, you know, and my barber,
For one?
what you trying to say, Brittany?
I just wanted to know because you never grew one out.
I don't want to be in the beard gang. I'm okay with not being in the beard gang. But here's the thing about the beard that's funny. I don't shave. I don't shave. I'm not really a hairy dude. Like, people, Karen has rubbed my arms on several occasions going, do you shave your arms? I do not shave my arms, Karen. No, I don't. I'm just naturally smooth skinned. It's cocoa butter. I have, and this may not be information that you want to know, but now you will know. I have like one piece of hair growing out of this part of my chest right here. That's
Oh my God.
and it grows out of my left nipple. And it's just been there for years. That's the only hair on my chest that I've ever had.
Take it out?
I've pulled it out one time before, but Brittany, first of all, it hurts. And then second of all, why am I bothering it? Why am I bothering it? I have on a shirt. It's not like I...
Ekin. Jason, go grab the scissors.
Really? That's what we're doing?
We're going to shorten it. We're going to shorten it. You don't got to let it go, but you got to shorten it.
You act like it's braided. You act like one piece on my chest is braided, like I've had it growing that long. We ain't go that far. Anyway, back to my story. So I don't shave though. I just don't. My dad used to tell me, like, look, dude, once you start shaving, you're never gonna stop. Don't put a razor on your face. So when I get a haircut, my barber shapes up my facial hair. Since I haven't had a haircut in like a month, I'm out here looking like, I'm in quarantine for real, like I was on The Walking Dead or something. So I want to say my appreciation for my barber is next level right now. Mel, I just want to say to him that I appreciate him. If I haven't said it before, I appreciate him more than anything now. Second person that I want to say, and I want to sincerely apologize to Karen. You know who Karen is?
No.
Karen is that chick that comes across a packed dance floor in the club and brings you her phone like everybody ain't already dancing and be like, can you play this so I can dance? Karen, everybody else is dancing, right? But your song is going to do something else. But I want to apologize to her because I would really like to
You miss her?
Let me tell you something right now. I would love to be in a party right now and somebody actually request a song. So I want to apologize to every Karen out there that I have. You know how people are going, that meme's going around right now saying, I'm sitting here now thinking about all the times I left the club early.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here now thinking about all the times when I told Karen, or I had one of my security tell Karen, he doesn't take requests. Karen, bring me those damn requests as soon as you see me. As soon as this quarantine is over,
you got the all these phones.
It's just gonna be phones everywhere. And speaking of requests, I just don't. You know what it is with requests though? I just don't want them to do this. Like I was, and this is a whole other story. I was doing a party on a Sunday, right? And to me, Sunday parties are like a vibe, especially day parties. They're like vibes. They're throwbacks. It's a vibe, right? So we got a vibe going at one of my spots, and I think I'm in like a up tempo, kind of a pit bull type of groove. But everybody that's there is kind of grooving. And because we're outside, I can see people as they're pulling up. And up pulls this minivan, and like seven ladies who look like they asked for the manager each when they go to Target. They all got out, right? But a couple of them got out like they ready to have this time. One of them got a cigarette. She come right in, she dancing, she drinking. She ain't talking to nobody. She just drinking and dancing. She's like, I'm out. I'm using this time wisely. Now, mind you, I just said to you, I am playing like a pit bull song, which is pretty much an up tempo.
Anything pit bull gonna get people dancing.
One of the ones that got out of that van makes her way right to me. And Brittany, she's got $1. She's got $1. Can you please play something that I can dance to? So me, trying not to act like you tell me not to act, Brittany. I'm trying to act better. I turn around and I go, well, lots of people are dancing right now. And like, this is Pitbull. This is kind of like an up-tempo song. What are you thinking? You will never guess what she said.
Oh my God! Wait.
You ain't
Who
gonna get it. I don't care. I can give you 3 guesses and you still won't get it.
did she want? She wanted Bruno Mars.
Nope, not Bruno. That's a good guess though, because I get that a lot. But she didn't want Bruno because Bruno's a winner.
She wanted some. She wanted. I can't. It's so much pressure.
She asked me for "Let Me Clear My Throat."
That's a good one.
But if you can't dance to Pitbull at 128 beats per minute, when I come down to 105 beats per minute with "Let Me Clear My Throat," how is that going to help you?
That one was more for her part. She just wanted that part to come up and for her to go crazy on that part.
Oh, she just wanted to go.
That's it. Just give me that one part, man. You go back to Pitbull.
Okay. Well, is there anything that you took for granted, Brittany?
Man, going outside, just like enjoying my pool because I can see it from my little balcony, and I just see it and it's empty and no one can use it. I'm like, I didn't even use that. I took for granted the luxury of eating out. That for me has been
granted the luxury of eating out, or the luxury that you didn't pay a lot of times when you ate out.
both. I've been paying for all my own meals. It's hard out there, man. But yeah, I think for me is the food is the biggest thing. I miss eating at a place, to get away. I miss going outside to just go somewhere, man. Just going somewhere, having somewhere to go.
But Brittany, here's the good thing about that though. Think about it now that you're not eating out all the time. Are you saving some money?
I thought I was.
Oh, but you're doing Uber Eats and stuff and Grubhub?
Yeah.
So much for Brittany. I thought we talked about this.
I just signed up for a monthly subscription for food where they send me everything, and then I just have.
Brittany, at some point, somebody's gonna want you to be their wife. How about signing up for the kitchen? What's wrong with that?
By that time, I'm gonna have so much money. I'm gonna have my own chef. I'm gonna have my By the time I'm married, I'll be Gucci. I'm gonna have everything that's my goal. Be self-sustained.
Right.
So that when the man comes and as soon as he starts giving me problems, he can go.
Brittany, that's not why your goal should not to be self-sustained. So that the minute you and him get into it, he can go.
That's that to me is like the ultimate piece of power. Like, I am good here alone and you can leave.
Brittany, do you have a certain amount of chances that a guy gets before he's just got to go?
Okay.
Or does that depend on how much you like him? Or is there a number? Is there a number?
Like about 14.
14?
I'm just kidding. No, okay. I've done the twice, twice and I'm out. I've done I lost count. Why am I still here? So I've done both.
Was that the teacher wingspan? No, that wasn't that guy. I just like bringing him up.
That guy. Matter of fact, I need to text him.
Why do you need to text him, Brittany?
I don't know. Sometimes I want to just like text him, and so he probably doesn't have my number anymore, so he wouldn't know it's me. And I just want to be like, "F you," or like, the middle finger emoji. That's the one.
Brittany, why do you have so much hostility still built up inside? Let's talk about. Look, like I was answer my question though. 14. What is the number? Like, what is the number?
I think after okay. For me, probably at 2. You got 3 on it 3 times. 3 times. The 4th time I'm out. You got a whole third time. So the 4th time.
But are these major things? Like what are the offenses? I know lying is probably an offense. Lying is probably an offense.
Yeah, lying. I think obviously cheating. I think when
so you give him 3 cheats.
I have. I've done like.
You've given him 3 cheats, Brittany? You are a meme. Just saying, you are a meme. So you really giving a guy 3 cheats?
I mean, it was like, we were boyfriend, girlfriend, and then when the cheat happened, we broke up, and then, so yeah, maybe like 2 or 3 times, probably a lot more, but we weren't together, and I just kind of dealt with it, because it was, look, we all do stupid things.
What, Brittany?
What? So what? 3 times is too many.
No, I'm not gonna get. I'm not.
First 2 times. 2 times because the first time, look, people make mistakes, and if you're that stupid, and I really like you, I will give you a second chance.
But I wasn't even going to go there. I was more so going to get into the discussion of, if you and the guy broke up, why are these considered mistakes? Because when you aren't together, are the lines still blurred in there somewhere? Like what is that? What is it? Because I've had that happen to me where we are broke up, right? Like me and somebody been broke up. And so how are you still holding me accountable for stuff when we're broke up, when you might have went on a couple of dates that I don't know about and you slipped up and told
yeah,
me?
if it's like that, no. If she's going out on date stuff too, no, we can't be mad at you. I mean, she's gonna be mad at you.
But you do.
No, that's not fair. I keep it fair. If I'm mad at you, it's because I'm being good and you're being crazy.
But still, though, why would that matter, though, if you're broke up? If you're broke up, what does it matter what he does during the breakup time?
Yeah, I think that's really hard to get past, though. You're right, but it don't work like that.
So is there an understanding that needs to be had? Like,
yeah.
Like, I guess it should be, especially if that person is still able to come over, like, after the club and y'all not all the way together, but they still like, hey, I'm coming over, and you let them in.
Yeah, if you have that agreement that you're supposed to just talk to each other.
But how do you make that agreement? Then why did you break up? How do you make that agreement? I am all sorts of confused here, which is why I'm asking these questions. And
I know.
I guess I shouldn't be this confused having sisters. I shouldn't be, but these are relationship things that I see that are problems. And I think having you here, it helps me work through some of these things.
Yeah.
Which started out in a really good topic, and I don't know, somehow we always wind up with this. I figured I learned something here. No, it's not your problem. This is actually a problem that, I've had myself, and I just figured I'd ask you because, for one, I think you'll give me a good female perspective, and I think that's fair. I think, I don't think everything I do is right. Ladies, I said it, say it again, I'll say it again out loud. I don't think everything I do or any other guy is right. Say
a lot of people in the back.
Wow. I don't. So, I figured that I can learn some things too. But I do want to know, like, so when you say you give him 3 cheats.
No, hold on. Don't say I give him 3 cheats.
Guys just did a show going, and I've had some dudes ask me about you, and they'd be like, "Yo, bro, let me holler at Brittany. She give you 3 cheats." I'm like, "Whoa, I don't know I don't know what to tell them if they say that."
No, I do not get cheated on anymore. That is the old Brittany. I'm no longer getting cheated on. I am getting respected, loved, and food occasionally.
Hey, all I'm saying is, we get you a T-shirt that says 3 cheat max.
No, but honestly, I think I've learned a lot because, like, I think dating is so important. Dating different people. You gotta go on different dates, man. Everyone's different. You learn more about yourself. You learn what you like, what you don't like. You learn that there's all kind of different flavors in the ice cream shop. So it's not even about trying them. Like, I'm not saying having sex. I'm talking about dating, like just going out on dates, having conversations, seeing how different people work and move. You had to do that, and that's why it's important for, like, in the beginning to just be honest.
Okay, so if you could give me some advice, what's an immediate turnoff that I just shouldn't do on a first date?
Oh my goodness. Okay,
Brittany, wait a minute. First off, before you answer, don't act like you know me and it's like directed at Ekin advice like you did when I was asking you about working at the strip club. I'm talking about if I was coming to you going, "Hey, Brittany," on a general term. As a woman, and things that, you're a woman, so you know things that you like and don't like. What would be something that if you was like, "Okay, Ekin, you going on this date? Okay, you help me pick out an outfit and stuff." What would you tell me, Ekin? Don't do this though, because this is gonna ruin it.
Do not. First of all, I think this is so obvious, but I went on a date like last year, and the dude kept staring at my boobs. Like, it would not even hiding it. Ekin wasn't even like sneaking it. No, like, he'd be talking to me and he would just be looking at my boobs, and I'm like, "You're an idiot." And he was younger, and I should have known better. He was like 26, ill. Anyway, so that eye contact is good. Actually listen. Can y'all actually listen? Just take a listen to what we're saying. Take interest in what we're saying. But what don't do? Yeah. So actually, don't not listen. All right. Don't not ask questions. Like, don't.
Can I stop you there?
What?
Because that may be a fault of mine. I'm not really a big question asker, and let me tell you why.
Why?
I'm not really a big question asker is because I figure, and this could just be me, again, I think that people often tell you, especially when you first meet them, what they think you want to hear. I I am a firm believer that if I spend enough time with you, I will learn these things. I'm not saying don't talk to you. I'm not saying that. But I'm just not a big barrage of question after question. All right, so what do you like to do? So when you were in school, what do you? I don't do that because I figure like in conversation, like us talking at dinner, something comes up, you're gonna tell me some stuff about yourself, and you'll tell me things, and I'll watch you do things, that I'll learn about you if I'm around long enough. So I've never really been a big question asker. Is that wrong? If I do, if
Okay,
that's my logic.
if you're compensating it with conversation when she asks you questions and you're elongating your answer, short answers are the worst, to the point answers are the worst. So no, I think you'd be good if you're good with conversation, you don't have to, as long as there's conversation going and flowing.
Right.
If you're not asking questions and we're there just staring at each other with the awkward sips and the like you just don't know no, I don't, yeah, it's gonna be difficult to make it to a second date. And I would say, and this is gonna sound like, I know some guys are gonna be blah, blah, blah. No, do not make the girl pay first time. Do not make the girl pay. If you make a girl pay the first date, no, I don't think that you're ready for dating. Then you aren't ready to date. Go back to the minor leagues.
Right, you're not. But some guys, like, I'm not saying it's me, but some guys is gonna say, "Hey, you want equal rights? You want the same pay I get? You want this? You want that? You want equal?"
No,
You know?
and I'm gonna say, do you
Goodbye.
want a second date or no? And I'm gonna slide that check back over.
So if you have to slide the check back over, he does have a chance at a second date.
It's like, here's your last chance. No, at that point, I know that says everything about a guy. I'm sorry. I just think that if I took my time out of my day or night to meet you somewhere and go to a restaurant, I got ready, I dressed up for you. No, you're paying.
So you're saying that we're missing some old-fashioned qualities, aren't we?
Hell yeah! Go back to some of that.
Can I ask you this? And this could tell me a lot about you, Brittany. If a guy opens your car door and puts you in the car, closes the door, what do you do after that?
Oh my goodness. I'm like, yeah, thank you. You're supposed to do that. Yes.
So you don't reach over and try to open his door for him?
No, I've completed, like, I'm putting my seatbelt in. What do you mean?
And let me tell you something right now. I got some aunts, cousins, friends, and a mother that says that's an L right there. That's an L that the girl should then reach over and try to open, like, at least make an attempt to open the guy's door. You've never heard that?
Never heard this. What if I bang the other door? I'm there trying to be nice.
No. I didn't say open it and push it flying right open.
I would have.
I'm talking
my
about
little short arms would not be able to do.
If you pull the handle, that opens the door, or at least it starts unlocking it. Let's not try to act like you got to do all this other stuff. It's a reach over. Brittany, look, I'm not judging you. I'm just telling you about some of the things that I've heard. That could be a deal breaker that you didn't know about.
I never heard guys. Okay, I'm gonna try that. Brittany, and if I bust someone's door, Ekin.
Brittany, I did not say push the door like you a superhero. I just said, because if you think about it, you're not even pushing the door. If you pull the handle, that's opening the door right there. You have to pull the handle to open it. So you'll pull the handle, that'll start opening the door.
What did I really do for him? That literally, if I just push the door open a little bit, the handle's sticking out a little bit now. What is the difference between that and the handle was half an inch deeper?
All I'm telling you is the same thing that you just told me. I'm giving you advice on things that I've heard.
Okay. What is the thing that women do that like would be on a first date? What would you say? Like, what should women not do? You know what I think?
No, I can tell you this one for me. Don't ask me what you should wear, especially just hanging out. Just do you, because there's a reason that I was attracted to you. But at least be presentable, and you don't have to be all dressed up in heels either. We hang because I'm a video game dude. If your hair is cool and you want to throw on a baseball cap, I'm cool. Just be neat. You know what I'm saying? And don't give me the legging date all the time either. I don't want the legging date all the time. I do not want the legging date all the time. I do, please, and I'll say it again. If I happen to run across you, do not give me the legging date.
I'm a second on that. Yeah, you're right.
I do not want the legging date all the time. I just don't.
How do you feel about, okay, she takes the phone out and puts it on the table, first date. Should the phone go to the table or stay in the purse, first date?
I personally, at this stage, am trying to worry less and less about what somebody does with their phone. What will bother me is if your phone has your undivided attention the whole time. Now, where you sit your phone at, I don't really watch that part. It will give me something to think about now. I don't really watch that part because I've seen people sit their phone on the table and they still don't pay attention to it. You know what I'm saying? Like it may ring, they cut it off, but they're still engaged with me or whoever the people that were, that we've been around. You know what I'm saying? But then I've also seen people that the phone be in their purse and every 2 minutes they pulling it out like they looking for something.
Yeah.
So my thing is, I'm like you. I don't want to go to hang out with anybody or any I don't even like even my homeboys. I don't want if we hanging out and you got to stay, bro. You can just go where you was at because we're not hanging out. You know what I'm saying? If your phone is your undivided, we're not hanging out, and that's just anything. Like we had a barbecue or something, and you just sit in the corner on your phone or something, bro. You didn't even need to come to this barbecue because we over here getting spades and dominoes and everything else is going on, and you ain't nowhere involved because your phone. You could just been where you was at.
Yeah, I agree. I keep my phone in my purse because I think it's just rude. Like,
but what about the dude who sits his phone down and turns it over?
Oh, when it's face down?
Yeah.
Oh, I already know. Free meal and deuces. Let's eat. Let's get some dessert. Okay. And
he's not getting a second date?
No, that is, I hate that. Ekin, that is the biggest indicator that you have something to hide and that you don't know. No. I can already tell that's a huge red flag. That's a red flag right there. Don't not see and acknowledge that red flag, ladies, please.
Brittany, so basically, how about we should start a new thing? Don't even bring your phone on a date.
No, you can't do that.
Why can't you?
Because
how about this one? The next date you go on, right? See if the guy you and him both can leave your phones in the car while y'all go inside to eat or whatever.
Oh, Ekin.
Is that hard? I mean, if you want to spend time with him, a meal is like an hour. You can't walk in a restaurant, leave your phone and his phone in the car, both of them together in the car, and y'all going in to eat. You think that's hard?
No, I want to see your phone behaviors.
But if he's saying, yo, let's both leave our phones in the car, that's a behavior right there. Boom, I don't care. I'm cool.
No, that would make me feel like he's being controlling.
If you're the one that suggested.
Don't tell me how to do what I suggested.
You know what? This comment was over. I'm trying to look. It's about to be summer 2020. I'm trying to make things a little easier for people. And I'm thinking if I get a female perspective, things would be easier. But obviously,
Not with this one. Not with this one. My dating life is very complicated.
It's not going any better. I don't know how we got here. It's not going any better.
You're asking me for advice. You're looking for advice from the wrong person.
Well, I just think that, the thing I admit nowadays is we all have faults. I don't have many, but I got faults. Not a lot, but I got faults. So, one of the things, like I said, when I first asked you about being a part of this show was I wanted to be able to ask you things and get a real perspective, not only from a female, but from a short person. Like you got all these different perspectives. Tina,
the savage. I've been the one that's been the victim of savages. I've been on both ends, man. You're right.
It's good. It's gonna be better for 2020, Brittany. It's gonna be 2020.
Maybe 20 at the end of this year, it'll sprout anew.
Well, let's end the show on a high note. What's the first thing that you want to do when the quarantine is over?
Oh, first thing I want to do, because I kept putting this off, go on a freaking boat and go with my girls on a boat and go party on in the water. That's the first thing I want to do. But,
any plan how that's going to happen? Are you and your girls going to one of them have to meet somebody, or you already know somebody with a boat? How you got a plan for that? Or you guys going to rent a boat?
We're going to rent a boat.
Okay. Look, Brittany, some of those friends you have that I see in those pictures, I'm not saying that they're bad, but once in a while I wonder about a credit score here and there. So what you say?
And you're right.
Going on a boat.
We still make it on that boat.
I never doubt that you can get on the boat. I never doubt that. I just don't always know how y'all got there.
It's magic, man. That is girl magic right there.
And I believe that. So if you're saying you guys are going to rent a boat, well, since you're going to rent a boat, I'd like to come to that party. I got some rental money to throw in.
Hey, you're gonna DJ?
No.
You
No.
said I am not working.
No, let's back that up. Let's act like you're getting married. I tell everybody, if you're a friend of mine, don't ask me to DJ your wedding. I want to come there with a brown paper bag and be drunk and acting up like every other guest. I just want to DJ. Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna come there and I'm gonna make some memories. I don't want to DJ your party. I don't want to be responsible for the first dance song. I don't want to be responsible for the dance with your father. None of that. I just want to come there and be drunk and eat up all the food and look at the bridesmaids like all my other friends. That's what I want to do. Or the people, or the other people that are there.
Why are you bringing a brown paper bag anywhere? I don't know, Ekin. But
because sometimes you got to make a wedding more fun. Sometimes at a wedding, it ain't open bar. It's way over.
That brown bag in your trunk right now, ready.
It ain't in my trunk. I keep my. I am a suit wearer, and I understand the use of the inner pocket. It got to be a big brown paper bag, but I understand the use of the inner pocket. You know what I'm saying? Folks think I show up at a wedding dressed like a pastor for no reason. I understand. I'm presentable. I'm ready, and I may even be ready to do prayer for you at your wedding. But I'm not gonna DJ. I'm not gonna DJ.
Okay, that's fair. I get it, man. You're on the other side. You want to jump on the party side. I get it.
Plus, I have to bring a brown paper bag because I know what's in that. The last wedding I went to, which is my boy DJ Koo's wedding, which was a great time, I wound up wine drunk. I've never been wine drunk before, but I'm in there thinking like, I'm gonna drink wine tonight. I'm gonna be, it's a different, it's a cool surrounding. Man, let me tell you something, man. I remember getting home because I know who drove me home. Very good time. I remember most of it. But that next day I was like, wow, is that what wine does to you?
Bruh, because it's like the grapes, man.
Is that what it is?
I think so.
Is that what it is? Woo. Good time though. Good time. See, so there you go. So you're going on a boat the first time when you.
That's what I want to do. I want to go on a boat, man. Just wild out like Cardi B in that video with City Girls.
Right.
Tiger King style.
So you know what? If you rent a boat, how about this? I invite some Tampa friends. We can chip in. Your price is lower. Half the boat. We go half on the boat. Brittany, and we bring a videographer.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Then we make a whole memory. Brittany's first time on a party boat. Brittany's first party boat experience.
Yes, that's what we're doing, and we're bringing milkshakes.
That I'm not going to be involved in because milkshakes and alcohol, and I'm lactose intolerant. I'm not.
At the bottom of the boat the entire time.
Yeah. Be like, where's Ekin at? It's not a good look on the boat, man. Look, man. I look. That's just like, why do we even go? Look, Brittany, I'm seriously. It's not even a good look for me and milkshakes on a boat. Not a good look. It's just not, and it's not gonna happen either. Yo, I appreciate everybody, man. Of course, Southern Hospitality. Find us wherever you get your podcast fixed at, man. Shouts out to Radio Influence. Shouts out to Jason. Shouts out to you, Brittany. You got some last words before we get out of here?
I love everyone.
You do?
Yeah.
And you know what, Brittany, again, some more applause for you for that great thing you did in the Mockley and making sure everybody, making sure people, it's one thing to talk about things, but it's another thing to get up and go do it. And I know you always talking about, I got so much to do, but that was like super important to you. So I know we play a lot, but I just want to say I am proud of you.
There's people in the back.
I'm proud of you, Brittany. I'm proud of you. I am. All right. So, until next time, and let's start making the boat plan now. Because what do we got? Like a month maybe, month and a half, 2 months.
I think it's gonna be at least a month and a half, 2 months, probably more like 2 months. We gotta make sure we don't need no Rona baddies on the boat.
Yeah, we don't need that.
Exactly. So we're gonna make sure no one's got the Rona.
Don't none of your homegirls steal, do they? Because I don't want that either.
That I can't promise you, Ekin. It depends. It depends. I got a different side to us when we drink.
I'm gone, man. Southern Hospitality, man. I am DJ Ekin, of course, the lovely Brittany Gonzalez. Find us once again wherever you get your podcast fixed. And of course, if you're looking for us on video on YouTube at DJ Ekin TV. All right. We are gone.
Bye.